You look at him, what do you feel like?
You know, one of the things that he's had 3 years of practice, you know, worth of reps in this offense. I think he's a big guy, throws the ball really well, processes it very well, and he comes from a football family, and so I think he's been in some big moments. You know, he's a part of some big games, and I think probably he's learned a lot from his time at Texas A&M, and hopefully he could get here and you know, use some of that experience with our guys, but also to help him earn the job.
Ron has made a point to lose some weight. How do you feel like he's different with the weight loss and what he can do in the offense by being a little bit, you know, skinnier?
Well, I think it helps him move, you know, obviously a little quicker. But I think the biggest thing is it kind of shows to us his commitment to football, commitment to shedding the weight and to being the quarterback of this team. I think he's really excited about this fall camp, and he's had a really good summer, as Matt has as well. And you know, we'll see how it goes.
Let me ask you something. You know, Gary's got the reputation about being a defensive guy and pretty stuck in his ways. What did you think when he first made contact and said, hey, I'm interested in changing the offense?
Well, I just had questions for him in terms of, you know, how serious he was about doing it. And, you know, one of the things and the key thing, and anybody who runs this offense knows, is that one of the first things he said is like, hey, I know you guys have to practice it a certain way, and I'm willing to change how we practice it a little bit to make sure that happens. And so that let me know right there he was serious about doing it.
What are some of the biggest cultural differences between the football program here and at Tech?
You know, it's a younger staff there, and so a little more, I guess, laid back. Yeah, a little bit more laid back. But both of them, you know, have great kids. You know, have kids that work really hard, and coaching staffs that are very motivated, very determined at both places. So it's very similar.
You felt like coaching staff here to be open to changes and implementing a new offense? Has that been a really easy process this work?
It has. I think that Coach Patterson's really been open, not just in terms of offense, but also recruiting different ideas, different things that people are doing that maybe one of us had done at a previous place, and he's been very open to it. And the biggest thing, though, at the end of the day, does it help us get better and does it help us win games? And that's kind of the criteria of anything new that you got to ask yourself before you present it.
Sonny, has there been any kind of backlash that you detected? You grew up playing in the Tech program, coached up there, and then left.
Yeah.
What's been the reaction to that?
Well, everyone that I've met in person has been great. I mean, they've just said, hey, we're going to miss you. We hate to see you leave, but best of luck. And 11 out of 12 ball games. And so I respect that. You know, a bunch of great people out there, and you know, I expected them. They handled it great, and I was upfront and honest with the situation and what was going on, and communicated to the chancellor, to the head coach, to the AD, and let everyone know what was going on. And so there weren't anything behind closed doors, anything like that. It was just a great opportunity to come here to TCU and left a great place there at Texas Tech as well.
What's your thoughts being able to work with Coach Meacham?
Coach Meacham, it's been a lot of fun. We've known each other from different recruiting visits and recruiting trails, and we've talked on the phone a lot over the years, bouncing ideas off, and you know, I really enjoyed it. He has, I think we're a good mix from the standpoint of what our strengths and weaknesses are, meshing those together. You know, he's coached a long time, and he's coached at a lot of places, and he's had a lot of success everywhere he's been. So, really excited about being here with him. And one of the things that strikes me about Coach Meacham is, you know, just no ego. You know, he's one of those guys that opens up the meeting room, bounces ideas off of you, and then he'll listen to you, and so that's been fun.
Talk about how much bigger this line is. Are they in shape enough for this offense?
We'll find out in a couple of days. I think, you know, I think based on what we did in the spring, and kind of for them being able to identify with what we are, you know, in terms of the speed factor, I really think our strength staff and the players utilize that knowledge throughout the summer in terms of getting in shape and being able to think fast when you're a little bit tired and winded and resetting yourself and snapping the ball. I think they kind of focused a lot of their training around that. So, yeah, I think those guys, and some of them lost some weight. You know, I think some of them needed to lose some weight. Some of them lost a considerable amount of weight, and that's a good thing. We have a lot of length up front. Been a lot of places. I can't recall as much length up front as we have. You know, long arm guys that can you know, pass block and zone block. And, I mean, they're an impressive group. They break the huddle. Well, excuse me. When they come out of the tunnel, they look the part. You know? And like I said, we're still assessing. We're going to have to figure it all out through camp, just like they are. You know, they're still learning too. So.
Yeah, Coach said earlier you might have 40 offensive linemen. Is that a plus? Considering bringing a whole new offense?
Yeah, it is a plus because at that, you know, when they're coming in and they're not way behind. You know what I mean? Like if this offense has been here for 4 or 5 years, you got a bunch of guys that know it inside and out, and then you got guys that are so far behind them they're like intimidated because they're not even close to being able to scratch the surface of what they need to know. I think all those guys learning all at the same time is a plus.